This is Us, episode 3 change. For the most part, I actually enjoyed it. Of course, they had their three stories, their three main stories, which was Randall and his family, and then you had Kate and Toby, and then you had Madison and Kevin. And out of the three of them, my favorite was Kevin and Madison, which is odd because I actually like Randall like the best. But I felt like Kevin and Madison's um scenes in this episode was a lot better because you guys sit there and think about how they got together. They got together um by hooking up. She got knocked up, and then COVID happened, and then they got stuck together for about 4 to 5 months. So they're practically total strangers trying to make this whole thing work. And throughout the episode, something happens. As far as like Madison like snaps at Kevin, and then they talk, and they really open up to each other about their stuff that they're dealing with. Between Madison and her bulimia, Kevin and his alcoholism, and plus apparently he has a something else as far as like working out. Um, and I thought that was really good because, Kevin was like, listen, we're going to be parents soon. And we already have enough to deal with just being parents, dealing with our own stuff. We got to just be more open and honest with each other. And, I'm not going to lie. At first, I felt like Kevin was trying to, like, rush or, like, because he pretty much, proposed to her. And I'm like, really? Like you didn't follow through with Sophie, somebody who you know since childhood, but this woman that you known all of what? How long? Um, but I feel like there's something that's genuinely there with each other with those two. So I felt like their scenes were the best. Um, Now with Kevin, I mean now with Randall and his family, something something happened something happened with Tess as far as school is concerned, and there was some sort of video that came out where Tess was pretty much dissing some of the teachers and stuff, but then you find out why, which is actually pretty messed up. It involved some teacher putting her hair on Tess, and then after she told her to stop, the teacher started doing it to like all the other kids in the classroom. And she, at this point, she just had enough. She was just like, yo, listen, I'm not the quiet girl, from the suburbs or whatever. Like, I'm a lot different. This is who I am. I'm not just going to sit there and take anyone's crap. Um, and on the one hand, Randall was proud of that. He was also relieved. Randall's way of dealing with stuff growing up was to always internalize stuff. Always just keep it bottled up or whatever, not really saying anything, not causing trouble or whatever. And he was relieved that, she wasn't like that. But at the same time, even though he understood where she was coming from, you know, he even said he was like, yo, there's a right way to do something and there's a wrong way. And you chose the absolute wrong way to go about, as far as like, dealing with the teachers and stuff like that and their problems. Um, Also, Randall was given an assignment from his new therapist was to tell about a child incident that happened when he was younger. And he told this story about, I guess, Kate's friend. Kate's friend, I guess, had a thing for him or whatever at the time, or something like that. And there was one instance where she was sitting next. This is young Randall, by the way, sitting next to him, and she put on some sort of lip gloss or whatever, and she was meant to say, "Oh, would you like to know how this tastes or whatever?" Randall, being young Randall at the time, just felt very uncomfortable, and he was about to walk out, and she grabbed his arm and was like, "I wonder what it's like for somebody like me to kiss someone like you." And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" Now, granted, given the time period, there was a lot more overt racism. Um, I mean, still, I was just like, wow. But I think this is part of the reason, probably part of the reason why he picked, why he was so like keen set on just picking, a black therapist. Because he felt like, he can only, he feels like a black therapist would relate to what he's going through more than, let's say, a white therapist. Um, and maybe that's just part of the reason, yeah. So, um, and that's what happened with that story. Now, Kate and Toby's story wasn't super interesting. I'm not gonna lie. They just met up with the person that was going to be a potential, um, person that was going to give up their baby, adopt their baby to them. Um, and they were, at the end of it, because they got to spend a whole day with her, and at the end they sort of had mixed feelings. They sort of had mixed feelings. Kate was super excited, and Toby was nervous. And I felt like it kind of played off each other in sort of the wrong way. Like, Toby was like, "You need to just kind of calm down a little bit because you're too excited, and what if it doesn't work out? You know, how is it? How are you gonna sit there and take that?" Um, so I think they just kind of agreed to like respect each other's feelings. Now, the other scenes besides that was, as I mentioned, the whole Randall thing. But then there was this other thing with Kate, young Kate, liking this guy that really didn't feel the same way. And her mother talked about it and kind of helped her through it, and that was pretty much about it. Not gonna lie, I really did not care that much about that portion of it. Um, in the last story, which I found, I'm still wondering. I know it means something. This was a story about, I guess, a Vietnamese family. A young girl and her dad or granddad or whatever. And the granddad was sitting there teaching this young girl about patience through cooking and fishing. And I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't understand what it meant towards the end. And towards the end of the episode, um, there was a picture. There was a picture of two older people. It was one of a black woman and one of this white guy, I think. And I know it's gonna come into play at some point, but I'm not gonna lie, that scene literally went left field. Like, there was only one other time that happened. I think this was the beginning of last season, where they had this scene where it was a Spanish family, and towards the end, one of the sons apparently played like professional football. And I'm not gonna lie, that scene went nowhere. Um, but I feel like this scene is. I feel like the story with the Vietnamese family, it means something. I just have no idea what it means yet. Um, and yeah, that's just my quick thoughts on episode 3 of This Is Us. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of took me a little bit to do this video because I'm I really didn't know how to approach it. I really didn't, and I want to get into doing reviews and stuff and want to get better at it. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know how to do this episode or this review justice. So I was like, let me just wait. Um, so I felt like I kind of had a better tackle on it a little bit. Um, And with that being said, that's actually gonna do it. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? Why not? What was your favorite story? And do you actually have any idea what that story was with the Vietnamese family? Because I don't. I really don't. And yeah, with that being said, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review.